Hi, my name is Adelina Gutierrez. This is my statistics final project, a one-prop z-test. According to greatergood.berkeley.edu, experts have found that 80% of Americans have at least one sibling. I chose this project because I have two siblings and I noticed that everyone in my extended family has a sibling as well, so I wanted to see what percent of Americans have a sibling. My research question was, do you have a sibling? The data represents the percent of Americans who have a sibling. The alpha is 0.05 because it is the standard alpha. For my sampling procedure, I used Instagram, which is a social media network, and posted a poll on my Instagram story and had my followers either say yes or no to my research question. I had a total of 75 random people who are Americans respond to my poll. The population is all Americans. The sample is 75 randomly selected Americans. I had random people that come from different backgrounds, locations, ages, and genders to avoid bias. The question was, do you have a sibling? Here's my data table. 65 Americans said yes, 10 said no, for a total of 75. Here's my pie chart. The majority of those sampled said yes is 87%. The percent of those sampled that said no is 13%. For my hypothesis test, my HO is the proportion of Americans who have a sibling is equal to 80%. My HA is the proportion of Americans who have a sibling is greater than 80%. Here is my citation. Now to check the conditions. Condition 1, random and independent, the data was collected randomly. Condition 2, large sample, all Americans is greater than 750. Condition 3, big population, 60 is greater than 10, 15 is greater than 10. All conditions are met. Here are my calculations. P equals 0.80, P hat equals 0.87, the N is 75. To find the SC, you fill in the calculations with the numbers, and it is equal to 0.046. My Z was 1.44. My p-value was 0.07, which I found from the calculator. Here is my one-prop z-test in the calculator, and here's the graph. My test statistic is Z equals 1.44. My p-value is 0.07, right here. The alpha is 0.05 and the p-value is 0.07, so the p-value is not less than alpha. Therefore, the conclusion is do not reject HO. I do not reject HO. There is not statistically significant evidence to reject HO. I conclude the proportion of Americans who have a sibling is not greater than 80%. And here's the work for my confidence interval. Here's the p-hat plus or minus 1.96 times the SE, which I got 0.8 and 0.96. Here's the one-prop z interval test on the calculator. I'm 95% confident the proportion of Americans who have a sibling is between 79% and 96%. I have learned how many Americans have a sibling and the percentage. I further learned how to complete a one-prop z test. The hypothesis was precise and it was interesting to find out the way I did. It was cool how I got to use a social media network to find my data. I have never done that before. Overall, a very enjoyable project, and I wouldn't mind doing it again in the future. Thank you.